You click buy on a stock, and then what? Ever really thought about it? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on that single click. We'll follow the incredible high-speed journey of a trade right from your screen to the very heart of the market. It feels completely instantaneous, doesn't it? But behind that one little click, there's this incredible high-speed process that all happens in milliseconds. And to really get how it works now, we've got to take a quick look back at how it all started. So to really appreciate what we have today, you have to see where we came from. I mean, the world of trading has gone through this massive, massive transformation from actual physical floors to, well, digital highways. Yeah, it really wasn't that long ago that trading was this loud, chaotic scene. You had people shouting, using hand signals. They called it the open outcry system. But today, it's all handled by a completely silent, lightning-fast automated trading system, or ATS. I mean, we're talking about a central computer matching orders. The difference is just, it's night and day. And you know what's wild? This shift happened so fast. It all kicked off back in 1989 with the first computerized system, SCORE, which basically replaced that old trading floor. Then, just a few years later, in '92, automatic order matching came in, and suddenly, you didn't need humans in the middle of it. By 1995, brokers were using these new front-end systems, WinScore, to connect their clients directly. And that really paved the way for the instant trading we all know today. Okay, so you're ready to jump in and make a trade. How do you actually get started? I mean, you can't just walk up to the stock market, right? You need a couple of keys to get in the door. So, there are two absolutely crucial accounts you need. First up, a trading account with a brokerage firm. That's your platform, where you place your buy and sell orders. And second, you need what's called a central depository system, or a CDS account. Think of this like your own personal digital vault where your shares are held securely, right in your name. But wait, before you can place that very first order, your broker actually has a responsibility to get to know you. They need to know things like your goals, what your financial situation looks like, and how much experience you have. And look, this isn't just them being nosy or filling out paperwork. It's all about making sure the market is a suitable and safe place for you to be. All right, so you're all set up. You've clicked buy. Now what? Well, now we enter the real heart of the system, this amazing digital arena where literally millions of orders meet each other every single day. So what is this thing, this ATS? The best way to picture it is like a massive, non-stop digital auction. It's constantly scanning every single buy order and every single sell order, looking for pairs that agree on a price. It's basically the ultimate matchmaker, but it's operating at speeds that are just, honestly, they're hard to even imagine. You might think the trading day is just a big free-for-all from open to close, but it's actually super structured. It kicks off at 8:30 a.m. with what's called the pre-opening phase. That's where orders are collected, but nothing gets matched just yet. Then, boom, at exactly 9 a.m., the opening auction happens. A huge flood of those orders get matched all at once to set the opening price. Then you have your mean trading session. And the whole process kind of repeats in reverse at the end of the day with a pre-closing phase and a closing auction to make sure the market ends on a nice, orderly note. Now, when you go to place an order, you've got choices. The two most common ones you'll see are a market order and a limit order. A market order basically says, hey, get me into the stock right now at whatever the best price is. A limit order, on the other hand, is more specific. It says, I only want to buy or sell if you can get me this exact price, or an even better one. So one is all about speed and the other is all about price. Okay, so with millions of orders flying around, how does the system possibly decide who gets to go first? It actually follows two really simple, unbreakable rules. Rule number one is price priority. The person willing to pay the most to buy and the person willing to sell for the least always get priority. They win. But what if the prices are the same? Well, then it comes down to rule number two, time priority. First come, first served. The order that got in first gets matched first. See? Simple and totally fair. Okay, your order is matched. Success. But executing a trade isn't completely free. There are a few small costs involved, and it's really important to know what they are. So let's break them down. So, a typical trade cost is made up of three main parts. First, there's the brokerage commission, which is what you pay your broker for their service. Then there's a clearing fee, which just makes sure the whole trade settles correctly. And finally, there's a government tax called stamp duty. Let's zoom in on that stamp duty for a second. The rule here is actually pretty straightforward. You pay 1 ringgit for every 1,000 ringgit of your trade's value, and that applies to both the buyer and the seller.
And hey, if you're making some really big trades, there's actually some good news. You're not going to pay an unlimited amount. The government puts a cap on this cost at a maximum of 200 ringgit per contract. That really helps keep the fees predictable.
So, all of this incredible speed, all this technology, it only works because it's all happening inside a very strict framework. There are rules designed to keep the market fair, orderly, and trustworthy for absolutely everyone involved. And right at the heart of all that regulation are these core principles. It really boils down to making sure everyone acts fairly, managing any potential conflicts of interest, protecting investors, and just, maintaining a market that's stable and reliable for everybody. And to make sure those principles are actually upheld, there are some very clear rules against shady, manipulative behavior. We're talking about things like pump and dump schemes, where people artificially inflate prices, or something called spoofing, where fake orders are placed just to trick other investors. These kinds of moves are all about creating a false market, and they are, of course, strictly illegal. Another huge focus for regulators is stopping financial crime, especially things like money laundering. And that's basically the process of trying to make money from illegal activities look like it came from a legitimate source. Brokers are really on the front lines here, trying to detect and report this kind of stuff. Ultimately, the responsibility here is crystal clear. This quote from the official rulebook says it all. It puts the obligation squarely on the people participating in the market to act professionally and, above all else, to protect the integrity of the market itself. So, from a bunch of people shouting on a crowded floor to an algorithm matching trades in the blink of an eye, the journey of a single trade is just this marvel of technology and regulation working hand in hand. It kind of leaves us with one final thought, right? In a world that's only getting faster and faster, what's going to be the next big challenge in keeping our markets both incredibly fast and fundamentally fair?